Hey,
Dad, Pops, how you doing?
hey.
Okay, so I can hear. I see the meters are jumping pretty good. I just wanted to invite y'all here because, I'm your only child together, and I wanted to share my love and appreciation for y'all while you all have breath in you and while I have breath in me. You know how they say, give people their flowers while they're alive.
Yeah.
You know, I
Mhm.
know we've been through a lot of stuff in our lives, and I have to say something to begin with. First of all, I am Source Energy, aka God King Malik, showing my parents some love and respect from the gate. I want to show them, that from my heart how I feel, and I want to make this a documented testimony for my children's 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 children, so that we'll have access to just breaking any spells or any curses that could have been put on our bloodlines, or anything that could have been passed along that we don't know about, that we don't understand based upon how we were given all the information we were given. I just want to will that the ancestors, welcome all of us, back into the fold as we came, like in a much more positive and blessed perspective of things. You know what I'm saying? So in that, okay, so I want to share one thing, like this important to me, very important to me, like in the sense of understanding, God, the universe, the laws of attraction, and all of that. Before I had any understanding of anything, I have to say that, you know, um, when you don't have a clue of who God is and your parents are in your life, and that's who God is to you. You know what I'm saying? And for the first, I know 8 to 10 years, my parents were actually together. They ended up divorcing, separating and divorcing when I was 13, 14. But that's just a whole nother story that I want to address as well, just respectfully. In this sense, though, I want to say, the laws of attraction work, because I'm gonna tell y'all something, as a human being, as a grown human being, being 54 years old and knowing how I felt at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, my ages, my young ages that I remember very vividly. And the love that my father always had for me, like to start out when I was with him, I was with him all the time. He took me everywhere, he did everything, did everything, showed me so much love that it would be un I wouldn't I know how to identify love because my father showed me mad love before they separated. So that was instilled before I was 7, like 8, 10, 12. I knew my father always loved me, even though we had a separation in our life. I always knew he loved me. And I wanted to tell you, Pops, all we've been through. I just recently we talked, and it was not even a week ago. You asking still for forgiveness from me, man. Look, man, I'm gonna tell you, like, for the record, for the universe, for the ancestors, because I do all the time. Like, you are very much forgiven. I asked you to forgive me for my not being clear to understand even more. I know that that sounds crazy, maybe to a sense, because father son, but at the same time, we're responsible. Once we get to a certain point, we have to lose these grudges. You know what I'm saying? And I never had no grudge with you after I told you, after we came to our terms. And I want you to know that how much I love you and respect you, and I appreciate the love that you showed me, because that was the foundation that made me want to do anything that I do for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything that I do for you, because my parents, they stay with me now. I am grateful to say that I can take care of them. I can do what, I can have them with me, because this is the laws working. I wanted this. Even when they divorced, I'm like, I just want my parents. And they both had relationships that my stepfather, who was really like a father, because he told me to make sure that I get a good relationship with my father. He said if he met my father, he knew my father meant me well, and he wanted me to make sure, no matter what, I got that relationship together. And I respected the man so much, because he actually was an elder to my mom, elder to me, and he just came at the right time, and he took the hate away. He took the anger away from when my father wasn't around and I didn't get the opportunity to see him. And it's not the same in one sense, but I'm grateful because I had something. And if I didn't have nothing, I did a lot. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I went through a lot, but I put myself through that. It was way in my 20s when I started getting all kind of stuff going on. So it can't be put on my parents. And I just wanted to say, regardless they separated, I got them back. And that was a wish for me. Like, I was willing that. I used to imagine that one day, I didn't know it was going to be 50 years, 40 years later, but it's all good, because to me, the objective is met. I get to see them in a better relationship than they have been. Like before, they wouldn't communicate, they wasn't gonna sit beside each other, they wasn't gonna be none of that. You know what I'm saying? But we've grown up spiritually, we've grown past some things, we've really dealt with some personal things that the average family just probably couldn't deal with. But I'm so grateful because my mom and dad here. And I want to say to my mom told me something I remember strong when I was like 4 years old. I think it had to be like four because I remember moving fast. I remember, oh, one thing I want to bring up before I say that is thank you again, Pops, because when I was younger, this man saved me. I got electrocuted. I was very, very intrigued by electricity and messing with wires and stuff. I used to see my mom like fix cords on stuff. So I tried it. I cut a radio cord in half and I put it back together, but I didn't tape it. And I left it, on the floor, and I actually fell asleep in some kind of way. It got wrapped up in my arm. And I was being electrocuted. This man ran in, he heard me, he separated me from that. But during that time, I had some kind of experience and I started having imaginary friends. And that's like, that's a whole different thing too. But I never really, people that know me know that, but it's a deep thing. But I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for all the experiences, because as I've grown up, all the things that I thought were bad that in the time that I didn't spend, I realized that during certain times in your life, I didn't need to be around you. And in certain times of my life, you didn't need to be around me. It's just, that's how the universe works. And I understand that. I understand that clearly now. And I'm appreciative for all the experiences that we've had together. Like I say, we've grown so much. It's so much love. And then you get to be, I have y'all with the grandchildren, okay? But Mom, this is what I want to say to you. And like I told you, at that 4-year-old thing, you used to read to me all fast. And I always asked why. I never took no for an answer, and I'm never going to. I'm grateful because when you told me I could do anything, I set my mind to. That was God speaking to me. That was God is speaking to me. So, so all the experiences after that, I never meant to be rebellious when you moved me down south and I really didn't fit into to all of that. I never meant to cause any issues or anything. It's just that, I'm here now. I understand when you don't match up to some energy, you just have to roll with it. And since I have a family now, it makes me really clear. I understand. So it moves me like to really, really be here with you all. And no, because ever since then, you've always given me the support, even, like the hard body support. Pops, Mom's a trigger finger. We got some experiences. I'm talking about a trigger finger. I got to tell you, fire. Like I've been through the stuff, and I'm going to keep it all the way raw and real, because these two right here, this is the epitome of Detroit, Motown, growing up in a household where it was real. I never saw no fake stuff. My father never sugarcoated nothing with me, and I'm so grateful because life never sugarcoated nothing with me. My mom never sugarcoated with me. It's just that when we moved down south, she got a little softer in one way and a little harder in another way. And it's just, but I adjust, I understand, and man, it's just so many experiences that I've had now in my life that makes me really respect and understand. And I can't hold nobody responsible, because we never got it right. Nobody gave y'all the right blueprint to give to me. Nobody gave your parents the right blueprint to give to you, especially in our culture. I get it. So now, you see what I'm doing. I'm going to make sure that I do exactly that. Share the freedom of thought process and everything. They can do everything they set their mind to. Hey, I'm 12 deep, 11 still in the home, wife and my family and my mother and father. So I feel like this is a honor and a blessing to be here, to even get the opportunity to say this, because I have a lot of relatives. I have a lot of friends. Either one or both of their parents are already gone. I'm 54 years old, and I'm grateful. Mom, you're a soldier. You're a miracle. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're a miracle walking. This woman has never received nothing that they've told her, and she's walking through things that are unimaginable for the average human being. So that's the reason why I know whether or not, I understand we may have a different, collective perception in some ways, but the overall, the clarity is there. Like, I know for me, regardless of what she says, that's a goddess right there. And you don't do things like she has been able to do on, a spiritual level, just with to me, a religion. It's like you have to have a different kind of connection to, regardless of what, anybody says. And she and I we've been through life on me going through the different processes of attempting to find myself and find my course of action in life because I know that I'm a warrior. I'm here for the spiritual fight. I've been confirmed at this point. And I wanted to make sure that I put it into the ether and I put it into my parents that I forgive you both for anything that you think that you've done to harm me. I remember when I got out of prison, my mom was like, she was crying. She was telling me, or when I was talking to her in prison, she was acting as if it was her fault. I was like, Mom, I've been out your house for 5 years now. Come on, you couldn't have been responsible for this. This was me, all me. But just the compassionate heart, knowing that I belong there because I put myself there, but it was for the experience of my kings and queens, my young gods and goddesses that I have to be responsible for influencing in this now. And you all know, anybody who knows this world, this system, and all these different things we go through, nothing is, easy. You have to pay attention to detail. You have to really be on a mission to be, balanced, and everything it's a yin and a yang. It's an up and it's a down. It's a left and it's a right. So it's not going to be like things are not going to be so-called bad. You just got to deal with them how they are. And the more you keep your vibration in a higher space than not, then, we just move. And I've been having to be the example of that to myself because I have to reinvent myself every time I wake up and give thanks and realize what my responsibilities are. And then I realize how many people love me, man. I got so much love on me, man. Mm-hmm. I'm destined for this greatness. Mm-hmm. This whole brand, this whole bloodline is destined. That's the reason why I needed to talk to my parents, because they've been kind of like not forced back together, but the will of the Creator has put us back together to experience. And it's like my children love them, like they got the grandchildren loving all on them. And regardless of what the understanding of anybody is like, it's so much different when you have the elders in the house. Even if you don't agree with everything, I see the importance of it. I would I would really suggest, if you got an elder that in your family, take your children to see them and communicate with them so they could not only give them the energy of that, but you let the elder give them some knowledge from the wisdom of just speaking some words. I love you, baby. I love you from an elder coming from someone else is totally different, because the elder's experiences, and depending on how many times that elder been in submission to the Creator, like really on some connecting and not even realizing how connected they are. Because I realize that as I've grown spiritually, and this is no cap on you, Mom, because it's never no disrespect, but to me, because I've grown through so many different things, I sometimes didn't realize if you realize how powerful you are, like for real, like because all the things, how humble you are and how you've carried yourself, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you, I'm my only child. Like I'm selfish about my mom, but I done had to be shut down. I done had to be put in my place by people like, yo, man, my bad. Your mom's just a good person, man. My mom ain't been around, and I love your mom. I'm like, you know what? How in the hell can I keep her mission off? And I got one. Like, how can I knock hers off? It's still like I've had a war inside of myself. Like, that's my mama, man. If y'all know, if anybody love their mama like I love my mama, you ain't trying to let nobody be close to your mama, especially if you ain't like in the vicinity. And you always are, but you move away and you got niggas tucking up for you. Got man. I'll tell you what, I'm just so grateful for this experience right here. And I like I said, I want to take my time out to make sure that I've properly, asked you all for forgiveness. Like the stress nights, Mom, all that time like that you were worried about me. Now, we've talked about it. Sometimes you were worried about me because of just the extra idea of that's my child.
Yeah.
Because some things you didn't, once you put those positive spells out. Once you put them things out there like that, it was a wrap. The protection has been on. And I know, because I we in hell, and I done rode through hell with gasoline draws on. You know what I'm saying? And I am a fire sign. So that says something, that I survived to this point. So I'm just grateful to say, the influence, that I am and what I command to be is directly off of the love and respect that I've gathered, understanding what you all have had to go through in life. And then, relationships splitting up. Mom, me and you we've been through a lot, like single, like going through getting put out of places and all kind of things when we were in Detroit, you know what I'm saying? And just different things. And Pops, I remember like so much stuff, man. Like I remember the feeling that my mom had when she woke me up in the middle of the night. We got to go to the hospital because you had been shot. And nope, we didn't know if you was dead or not. Like, you know, but I know that energy, and it's energy. Everything is energy. So I'm saying, if you believe in something, you can get it. Just, you know, understand that you have to be a vibrational connection to it. I wasn't at the time I was asking, obviously, because they weren't. You know, all of this stuff had to take place. You know, Pops had to go through whatever he had to go through. Mom had to go through whatever she had to go through. The experiences we still grow. I'm still growing up. I can't, you know, Pops will be 80 on his next birthday, January the 10th. We'll all strength for that. Mom will be 80 on her next birthday, June the 20th. And this is like really a blessing. Like I say, I understand the transition process too, because I don't believe in death anymore. So since I have them physically here with me, I'm putting in all the time I can to connect, you know, spiritually, so that when our transition time comes, we don't have a disconnect. You know what I mean? Because I feel this is my knowing, this is what's been confirmed to me, and I'm just sharing with those who might have had the same experience with a loved one or someone that they're dealing with now. Once you tie in that right love energy when they're present, you never lose contact with it when they become when the transition happens, because this physical thing is very, very like, this is, I just, from my knowing, it seems like I'm tapping into I just understand better. I understand better. And I'm not trying to force no feeling off on nobody else, but I know what it is for me. And it's been clear that all we got to do is open up that love chakra, open up the facts of the love thing in the facts of all people's beliefs. Everybody believes something because it's supposed to be based upon love. This is what the religions are supposed to be, so to say. But for real, let's start loving ourselves so that we can love others. And that mirror thing is real, because we're all vibrations and reflections of each other. Like, so if you pull up on somebody and they not really cool with you, that's the other side of you that you really is not cool, that you're not cool with. Maybe you should, you know, address that part, because it's all energy. I haven't been able to run away from it myself. I ran into many walls attempting to change how the universe works, but now I clearly understand that there's no changing to it. And I just wanted to, again, share my love with y'all. Thank y'all. Ask you for forgiveness for the things that I have done as a young adult, as a child even, because I know that this process, nobody got we didn't have the right blueprint. None of us. I didn't, you know, what y'all gave me, what you gave me, Mom, like it's the best I could have had, because you told me I could do anything I set my mind to. And I knew my imagination got me everything that I wanted. So once I understood the understanding of really the source energy and the God concept for what it truly is, I understand how I'm connected to the source. I understand what my, you know, abilities are, what my, you know, possibilities are, and it's all on me. It's all on me. And, you know, I'm just going to do the best that I can to influence in front of you all while you're still present, you know. And I just wanted to tell y'all I love y'all. And Pops, you know, me and you, we got to talk more. I know you right in the pop spot with me. When I come up there, you like, his dude is one of the most understanding dudes. He's like, he understands my schedule, but you know, I really respect talking to you, because every time I talk to you, you give me some jewels, you know, and even if it's short, like, you know, whatever communication we have is just appreciated, because I count this now as now. I don't really do the time thing anymore. Like, I really know I don't really, you know, that's a whole different perspective of perspective for me. So I'm grateful for where we are, and I'm just going to be grateful for all the presence that we are, you know, the presence that we have right now in this now. That's what I'm constantly grateful for. I'm grateful for all the experiences before, because I've been able to adjust them in my mind to be all good, because they got us here. And it's a lot of love in our house.
Yes,
you know, it's a lot of love. It's a lot of wealth love in this house. And we're wanting and willing and in the process of sharing as we go. And if you want to say anything, I this was more for me to just share with y'all, but I know, Mom, you might have wanted to say something. Pops, you might even want to say something. But bottom line is, I really just needed to, and this won't be the last time. Like, I just, I got another recording with you guys, but I'm just saying, I wanna be able to share what comes to me to you all, because it's like in this time, everything that could be remembered or thought about, especially since our memories, none of our memories are like they used to be. So if we can remember things and come up and it's a good feeling, hey, bring it. And if it's something that was awkward and we didn't deal with it or have if I don't want any low vibrational feelings about anything I think when it comes down to anything that got something to do with y'all. So I've already, dispersed all the old stuff. If I had anything, and then, as I've grown, I realized I can't put no blame on nobody. I got children that could put blame on me. You know what I'm saying? That could be reversed so many times. That could be you got one, y'all got one. Like here I am, one. Okay, y'all could shut like, hey man, go somewhere. I got 11 right here in my face. So I can't play no games like that, and I'm not gonna force the universe to give me no hand I don't really desire. Yeah, but that was what this was for. It was just a thing.
You want to say something?
No, well, he said it all.
Yeah.
He said it all because that's the way it was. As simple as that. I mean,
well, I just want you to be I want you to know for real.
The way I was, I don't know.
You ain't got no explaining to do, man. We done already did that. You good. Like that's not what it's not for explanation. It's just for you to understand. I want you to forgive yourself.
Yeah. Well,
that's my desire. My desire, I command you, Pops, to forgive yourself because I promise you it's all love here. Like I don't have any feeling of hate or low any vibration. Look, man, you mean everything to me, Pops. Like, think about you've had time to think about it because we talk about it. You've even told me how you don't even understand how this is, but it's not necessary for you to understand. It's for you to understand and overstand and just realize that you the God King, you the first God King I ever knew. You know what I'm saying? And the love you showed me was show enough. And look, man, hey, look, Pops. Hey, if a nigga tell you he gonna do something to you and he close enough, you better do it to him first or you gonna suffer the consequences. I don't have too many L's, Pops. You know what I'm saying? I don't have too many things that I'm still here. And, I've been in the thickest. I've been in the field with the gunners and the low stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful because everything you told me, Pops, everything you taught. I know. I've been around you in some of these places. We stumped Detroit. I've been in Detroit with you.
I'd be asking myself now, how am I still here? All the places I used to. I enough places where I'd be gone from an hour to hour or two. The next day I hear everybody, 2 or 3 people got killed in there. I mean, that happened not just one time, 4 or 5 times.
Oh, no doubt.
And I said, I must be something is.
Well, you protected, man. Your mama died with a smile on her face.
I remember I was over these people's house, and we just over there playing cards and drinking. There was no drugs involved or nothing. And I left there. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning. And as I was leaving out the house, this car pulled up. And 4 guys got out. They were dressed in, fatigue stuff. That's when they had that stress thing in Detroit. Mm-hmm. And they were police officers. Mm-hmm. And that's what I heard after. And I walked right past them. And I went and got in my car and I went on home. And the next day I heard they went in there and killed everybody in there. Killed 3 guys and a woman.
Wow. Well, yes.
I didn't look at them. I didn't even look at them in the face. I just walked past them. And they was walking in.
Yeah, they came on a mission. They came on a mission and you obviously had something going on. I feel like you did because you're still here and I'm still here because, man.
That's not the only experience I've had like that.
I know you got shot when how old was I, Mom? 3, 4,
you were little.
5?
You were little.
Yeah, I was a little one. I was a little. I can remember the energy though,
Mm-hmm.
just
Oh,
as well
yeah.
as I can remember when, even though I was born when I was born,
Mm-hmm.
it's the active. You know, when Martin Luther King
It's
was dead,
possible.
I could feel all
Yeah.
that energy as if, and then because they kept it alive, I thought it was a different time. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was really different time, but I felt like I was there watching everybody when it happened, like the hysteria and all of that. But I think it was because as I was growing up and in Detroit, you know, it was like a holiday every year when when they come back around.
Mm-hmm.
And it might have been because I was so young and everybody was so active in support. It might have just seemed like that, but because I couldn't figure out, and then consciousness, how pure we are when we're born. I was probably just present in the whole moment, just didn't understand what was going on. But I know the feeling. I know the feeling, the energy that I felt from you, the energy that I felt from all of the people that were mourning that situation. You know what I'm saying? Because it
That's
was
what it
like
was,
right
the
after my
connection.
birthday. Like,
Yeah.
and
See,
I thought it was a year before. I was told I thought it was 67, but it was 68, they said. And that was, like a few days. So that's what made more sense to me why it was so like in me. And then you think 77 all the way through 75, 76 or so. It was like, Martin Luther King was very celebrated. And it was very mournful when the energy around the black, the melanated community was really low when the time came around for them to, on the date of his transition. You know what I'm saying? So I just remember all of that. That's another thing to let me know how this universe works, because that's not the only thing I've attracted from a long run. Like, okay, Mom, we stayed with Cap and Mary.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
when I used to be at work, Mary used to have to basically superintend me. Like nobody was babysitting me because I wasn't no baby.
Mm-hmm.
So she was basically my legal guardian while you weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me, they came out to California, a few years back before Cap had passed. And she was like sitting amongst 11 of the 12 children.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, Lamar, I can't believe it, bro. I can't believe it. Like, you really, really did it. And I'm sitting here looking at her like, what are you talking about? Like, and she was like, dude, you used to tell me every day, almost every day, how you're going to have a big family. You're going to have 11 or 12 children and this, that, and the other. And then I started thinking about it like, wow, I did say that because I was angry. I was like, lonely at some points. And then I have sometime friends, you know what I'm saying? Then my one or two, the friends that I really had moved, and we were always moving and stuff like that. And it was just different things that, that affected me. But it made me realize right then. And by that time, I'm really into the laws of the universe and everything. And it made me get even more serious about how I am manifesting everything. Because I started thinking, when I was going through my thing, I realized there before I understood the laws that I had manifested all of the crap that I had dealt with. Because every day I had to review my life. And I saw those things take place, and I saw why they took place, and I had to take responsibility for it. That was source in me, making me come to terms with what I'm prepared for, what I'm being prepared for. Yeah.
You were
So
born for.
yeah. So I'm humbled by it all. But as it is, Pops, I know me and you done talked about a lot of things that you can't even put on the press, man. You know what I'm saying? That I know we've lived through a lot of things, just the family and just, some of the stuff that you've lived through made me realize, okay, that's the reason why I did not fear anything. My mom wouldn't let me fear nothing because I had to be on, she made me the man of the house. Yeah, I had to take care of her, and I had to be the man of the house. The biggest remembering I remember was me getting into a fight with two twins and a cousin, and I beat one of them up at school and had to come home, and they lived like four doors down, and I had to come home and I had to pass them, and they beat me home, and they were like preparing to jump on me, and that's when I experienced fear, I believe, and I was like, because the cousin was really bigger. I had already beat up one of them, and the twin brother was out there, so they all three was out there, and I just automatically felt defeat. So I some kind of way ran around these dudes, and I ran home beating on the door. Like my mom came to the door, like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" And I told her, these guys, I got into a fight and I beat one of them. Da, da, da. She grabbed me and told me, "Look, nigga, you the man of the house. Your daddy ain't here. Look, you're gonna have to fight your own battles. You want to fight them, or you're gonna have to fight me. Y'all all children. Handle that. Get out of here." And she pushed me out the porch and closed the door. So, and I know I've been disciplined by my mom, and I don't think these
I had
children
to
can
do
whoop
that.
me.
I mean, I had to do
I,
it.
I
I had to
don't
do
I
it.
don't think my mom can whoop me like these children could. I don't think the children could whoop me like my mom could. So I'm gonna take my chances with the children. So I'm going back down there and I'm really like figuring out, okay, how I'm gonna do this. I gotta fight. So I'm gonna just go crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just go down here. And then as I'm getting close, it's like I summoned a stick, a really big stick to the right side of me that I didn't see running past. So maybe my fear made me not see it, but it showed up at that time. So what I did, as I got close, he's sitting there talking. He don't see I see the stick. He don't see I even looked at the stick. So I get close enough. I grab that stick and I whack the biggest one. He go down, and then I jumped on the other twin that I didn't fight. The one that I fought, he ran in the house. He ran in the house and got his mom. His mom came back out. She snatched me off of her son and took me down to the house, and because we all neighbors, so she took me down to the house and beating on the door. My mom came to the door like literally, get your hand off my son, pulled out the 38. Chick double backed off the porch, fell off the porch, and she trying to explain, but at that point is when we became friends. That's when everything settled down, and because my mom was like, you should teach your children to fight fair, this, that, and the other. It was just a big thing going back and forth, because in the neighborhoods in Detroit that we squabble, but more during that time in the 70s, 80s, like we were like, it was more like we can come to terms. Yeah, we're gonna fight. The family might argue a little bit, but we're gonna get it together, because it was really families taking care of families. You couldn't get away with nothing, and the neighbor not tell your mama, maybe even whoop you and send you home, and you gonna get a whooping because you disrespected the name, the blood. So that's really what it is. But that experience, really woke me up, but I really woke me up to fear. I don't have a fear for nothing. I always have I'm on a swivel. I got PTSD when I was a child. You know what I'm saying? So it made me put my head on a swivel. So my life been like that. So I've been 10 steps ahead of things. And my father's always told me that don't let nobody. So my guard has been up in a sense, but it's been up in a different way, because I've seemed like, I've been just blessed to be able to think through things. And I'm just humbled by that. And because the combination of you two co-creating me is the reason that I'm here. And I want to give you respect upon that, because, that's what God does. God creates, co-creates, procreates, and intends. And what I know my mother has intended on my life has been very sincere, because she always told me a story about, okay, look, this is the truth about their life. They've had 3-4 miscarriages. Okay, not miscarriages, but mom even had a couple of children that actually were able to be in her arms, and they didn't make it, to the point where when she got pregnant with me, I was the last one. She said that she came home and prayed, laid in a sajda position, laid down on the floor with her hands and her face and everything facing the ground, and just said, Lord, please, if you give me this child, I give him back. I give him back, please. And that's been the story that I've been told since I've been a child. And it's been impacted in my life, because as I go do things, I realize that it's something special on my life. I know that. So when I'm doing certain things, I got to be meticulous. So I've always been, when I decided to get into things that I didn't want my mother, who was the best police or detective that I ever could have crossed paths with, and I knew that I had to be slick enough to get things past her. And so that's the reason why I think I survived in the streets, because I didn't, I know how to move. I knew how to move, you know what I'm saying? And I'm grateful that the protection was on me, because it's not just me egotistically saying, yeah, I was the shit and I was all the way live, and it was a protection on me. I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact. So that's the part. That's the part. And everything else is like, me doing what I got to do with my seeds, and me being the proper example to them, and, me making sure that as I do this, it's pure in my heart that, freedom is from their freedom of thinking is what I really desire for them. Like, I don't want to hinder anything. I'm not going to hinder anything. Like I said, I command their respect on my life. Like, I put everything on the line, and I've asked, and I'm constantly, respectfully, constantly summoning and channeling and asking the ancestors to bless us, to protect us, to guide us on this journey as we go through this process, and give us the proper, perspective on things, and give us the willingness and the ability to change perspectives when necessary, and the strength to know when not to, and the strength to stand up to the things that we are supposed to, in the sense of create, love and positivity. And I know love is very, very, they call it tough love. Tough love sometimes roughs you up. So all parts of it we understand. I just will that we are the proper, I am, we allow and are the proper example to what is necessary for, the success, especially for my seeds, man. I really, really desire for them to see me doing the best that I can on this earth, in this spectrum of the matrix, in this whatever this is. I will that they recognize my intention, my desire, and what it is that I really, really want for them, and that's for them to be free in their thought processes, and to know that they are the ones that are creating their own situation right now, and you can do anything you set your mind to. You know what I'm saying? And that's facts. That's facts. So love, peace, and honor, Mom.
I've got a question.
Yeah,
I've got a
what's the
question.
Yeah.
What did you name this?
I named this Source Energy, aka God King Malik, showing my parents love and respect.
Well,
And I was going to put on there too and asking for forgiveness, but I was rushing on the title because I wanted to make sure that you understood that this was about.
oh, we do, and this should be a tribute to my parents, straight from my heart.
All right, that's what I'll make the title.
This was wonderful.
I'm grateful, Mom. I'm grateful that that you feel my intention on it, because hey, you've been my best fan as well as my best advocate, and like adversary too, because you'll be on my ass. And I know, like it's all the way live. I get it. I respectfully respect it.
I had to, because you raising you was like raising 12.
Hey, look, I know now that fire sign thing. When you used to tell me certain things, now I really understand. When I studied my sign, I studied the time that I came, I studied what I'm supposed to do here. Why? What you say? Why?
Yeah.
Well, that's like why.
Right.
Why? That's what I want to know. I want to know why. And now that I know why, I'm just going to command the, for it to show up for all of us in the sense of our love and respect for one another and humanity. And I'm grateful to be here during this time, because I like I said, I understand, got a better understanding of what I should be doing. And
well, you certainly have been ordained and called. You've been called for what you do.
Thank you.
And I think that you have done it well. God has led you, of course, well, and you've been a good follower.
Thank you. I totally appreciate it. I'm humbled by that, because like I don't know about everybody else, but all I desire for my success, and I'm sure after this meeting right here, things have changed so much better for us, because in my heart, like I know that the best thing that I could possibly do for me, my success, is my parents seeing me for what I desire, what my true intentions are, and my children to love me and just trust me and see that my intention is to, do the best I can for them. You know what I'm saying? And that's, and because, Mom, you've been the one that I wanted to really, really, I guess people say impress, because you're the first queen I ever know, your first goddess, so the first woman that's ever meant something to me. So your approval has been a lot, even though I realized that through time I can't. All of your approval is not necessary. It's just certain things that were very necessary, and I've had to grow through that process. And I'm grateful that we've come to a clear understanding as we grow even more, as we expand more. You know what I'm saying? So all is well. All is truly well. So in the aspect of that, like, okay, it is a tribute to my parents from my heart, from my soul, from my spirit, my soul, and my heart. You know that.
We love you, and we thank you for loving us after all we've been through.
Hey, look, I'd never be able to turn my back on you all, on me, because you all are me. I said that right. I'd never be able to turn, because I wouldn't be me. I wouldn't have no existence without you.
Right.
And I'm grateful for the experiences. I wouldn't change anything, because we wouldn't be here no matter what it was. And I said earlier in the live we did, look, I really get the fact that these experiences are not bad for us. They're really, if you can step back and realize, no matter how it comes, if you can, choose the outcome, you can get the outcome. You can totally get the outcome that you desire. But all is well. All is well. Thank you all. Thank you for your time. And I know it is what it is. So blessings be upon everyone who comes across this. I am Source Energy, God King Malik, showing my parents. This is a tribute to my parents from my heart, from my soul, from my spirit. And I want, everyone to understand that I, am one of the universe's best example of infinite love and power. That is my desire. That is my intention. I command that upon myself. And, respectfully, peace, love, and honor to all that, come within the sound of my voice.
Yeah.
Blessings.
This was wonderful.
Thank you.
That was
Thank you
wonderful.
very much.
We receive it well.